Draconicus Baby Talk by Loloddity. Awaken by the tyrant, I demand justice. Do you think I let your cruelty go unpunished? Yesterday, Horseman took away a ground cracker I found on the floor, despite it being my rightful find, and you said happen. Happen. Horseman knew I was the cookie for Snacky, yet he still took it and put it up on a high place I couldn't reach. You could have stopped her. You could have quashed her threat. But you did nothing. Nothing. That's why I went upstairs and peed in your bed. If I can have a father that can feed me, you can have a bed with no pee in it. Have yet for a wind for the tyrant. I guess that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Eh, Daddy? Oh, that was cute. Now, let me explain some things here. I don't like tricord, but Pandora is adorable. Alternate title, Baby Pandora is psychotic. That's the baby Draconicus in this comic. As a wee Draconicus, Penny spoke in mews and squeaks, completely unintelligible to anyone but herself, which probably worked out for the best, to be honest. This girl doesn't understand her, but is definitely rethinking his life decisions. Baby Pandora terminology, horse mother, Twilight. Father Tyrant, Discord. So enough. So for Twilight is not enough. So she takes away delicious food treasures on the kitchen floor, and then Father Tyrant, or Tyrant Father, he catches her when she teleports from bath time, brings too many cuddles, and there's exploring to be done around the house. Frequent noise thief, too big to fend off when he picks her up for kisses and snacky, anything edible, and also things that aren't. So I hope you enjoyed this cute comic. So we're just taking out pictures from Kianamai 97 and people and Loloddity and Bico-kun. Yeah, so people like that and others who are uploading or creating artwork for next gen. Meet the sparkles. Apparently ponies are like Latins. Only that I guess you can choose whether you want to have the whole family to have their mother's name or the father's name, but it's usually the mother's name. She's so cute with his huge wings. Oh, aren't they cute? She's just like, why? What? Why? Why am I the only Earth pony here? Let's go some candy. Don't remember the names of these two, but still adorable anyway. Butt off, Starlight. Spike is my dragon. Lol. You know that comic dub I posted with Starlight Rarity and Spike is the same person who made it. Catch me, Spike, I'm fainting. Yes, we can see that. This was drawn from the for the episode. I'm on MLP episode style of doing it. Spike is of course going to catch a Rarity. Otherwise, Rarity will probably punch him in the face. Spike wouldn't do that for other maids though. Just Rarity, just Rarity. I love you so much. Wow, it's the same person who made the Spirited comic where Spike turns into a pony. Because he thinks that Rarity will love him more. So this is after the fact. So cute. Oh lol, this is funny. This is called No. It's by Kianamai and poor T over here, turquoise. And Rarity and Spike's child, second child. Anthea. Fluttershy's adopted blind unicorn. Child. This is when they're all grown up. Next gen, I guess. This is a dialogue. Hey, Anthea. This is Sweetie. Do you know? Are you sure we can't just no? Would you like to? No. But what do you want to do then? No. You don't want to do anything? No. Oh, how mad are you? So, a lot of it was improv. Some of it was the actual dialogue. Some of this was from the comments, and some of that was just improv at the end. So basically, the pregnancy is making Anthea get really antsy and annoyed, like she's about to erupt like a volcano. And T, poor T, just standing over there really scared. This beautiful one is called Love Closes Its Eyes, and I haven't read the fic yet, but it looks like it has to do with Nidra, Luna. But T loves Anthea here. So yeah, so Nidra had to wait like maybe 100 years, and then poor Anthea died because, you know, life limit. And it was just these two still alive because they're immortal. So yeah, then they were able to, then Nigel was able to take T. So, oh. This one's called The Path to Parenthood. And wow, look at those sexy eyes at each other. So this is Crystal Clarity, Rarity's first child, and Illusion is Celestia's child, Celestia Discord's child. And those sexy eyes. So she's about to have a child. Past the main storyline, so it's next gen. So most ponies who are alive before aren't alive now. So that's sad. Anyway, they're about to bear a child very soon. Well, she's about to bear a child. Clarity is. Love is patient. Nigel has to wait for Anthea to die before She couldn't marry turquoise, that's sad. Oh gosh. Love reassessed. I can't remember who this girl is, but yes, these used to be boyfriend and girlfriend before Prism decided to date Starburst, Twilight's kid, instead. So yes, if you find this page, the fic reading for this story, because Kiala has lots of fans, and the fans sometimes make stories for the characters. Yes, so if you come here, please don't read this story because it's a clock fic. If you don't know what that is, you're too young to be on the brownie side of MLP. Anyway, I mean what they are, clock fics are. Anyway, next pick. Here. Oh, Starburst looks so cute on top of Going Delicious. Going Delicious is AJ's kid, and Starburst is of course Twilight's kid. They look so cute together. This picture is, oh, it looks like it needs to be reloaded. This picture is called Consolidation, and it's once again by Kianamai. And Bico-kun's taking forever. Well, this comic is kind of long. It's a whole fic reading, so let us get into it. This is also a film fiction story, but this is the comic reading. It's been several years since the loss of Claire and T's friends passed, and even longer since their mother and her friends did. The two hybrids didn't take it very well. They still had their father, and are also very close to the royal family. Each of them all happened to have a long lifespan, or were immortal. At least I had them, but still wasn't the same. Today was the anniversary of Rarity's passing. Spike, as usual, isolated himself in his cave during this time to just think to himself. It was pretty dangerous when emotional to try to get as far away as possible as he could from everybody else. Claire, who's now living in Chancellor Castle with her husband Illusion, wandered the halls at night, reminiscing. Claire wasn't one to show much emotion. T was always the more sappy one, but tonight she was especially sad. She didn't know why. Perhaps it's due to bottling up all of her emotions for so long. She was sad. She was so sad that she was even crying. She was so guilty. Christopher, was crying. He truly was a rare sight. Illusion. He was wondering if he was trying for about an hour or so to find his wife. Heard the sound of sniffling. He turned the corner and saw Claire walking down a large corridor, dragging her hooves across the marble floors. He was confused by her behaviour, since he usually was with him or T for comfort, on this day in particular. She was usually a bit happy as well, which was most likely her trying to cover up her emotions. But tonight, something was very different. Claire, Illusion said as he trotted over to her. The hybrid kept her head to the floor, just barely looking over her shoulder to look at Illusion. Are you alright? Yeah, she said unconvincingly. Can I walk with you? Sure. I thought you were going over to Ponyville today, to see your brother today. She shook her head, not giving him any eye contact. Is he busy or something? She shrugged. Illusion was looking really worried now. He'd never seen her like this. Not even right after her mother's death. Chris, I'm worried about you. Please, can you talk to me? She finally looked up at him. He could see the pain in her glowing blue dragon eyes. I'm just a little sad. Okay? Is that so wrong? No, not at all, Illusion replied. He honestly wasn't expecting me to answer. I've just never seen you like this. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to worry you. You don't have to apologize. Do you want to talk about anything? It might make you feel better. There was a long pause. Claire was debating whether or not she wanted to open up to him. She'd never really had to when it came to things like this. She never really had when it came to things like this. Then she began to speak. I just Illusion wasn't sure what to expect next. This was a new experience for the couple, even though they'd been together for so long. She started, not knowing what to say in the situation. She was usually great when it came to speaking her mind. Not this time though. The words just wouldn't come out. Yes? She came to an abrupt stop and collapsed on the floor, crying. Illusion stopped as well and bent over her to get to her level. I miss her. I miss her so much. Oh, Claire. She was getting so frustrated with herself and started crying even more. Claire, it's okay, Illusion said. And Claire looked up at him once more. She was angry this time, and her face showed quite clearly. It's not okay, she shouted, getting back on her in her hooves. She was in Illusion's face now. My mother is gone, Illusion. You'll never lose your mother. You don't understand. It had been a while since Claire lost her temper like this. I'm sorry, I didn't know what else to say. You weren't exactly giving me much to go off of. Illusion was a good foot taller than Claire now, but we can't have felt any smaller compared to her. Claire was out of words once again. She started pacing and growling in frustration. Not getting anywhere, she turned to Illusion and let out a loud roar. There was another long pause. Realizing what she had just done, she slowly backed up and ran away from him. Illusion was about to call after her, but decided not to. He walked down the hallway in the opposite direction, occasionally glancing back. Celestia walked towards her room. She was just about ready for bed, as it had been a long day. Before she could open her door, she saw her son passing by. He looked very deep in thought. Hello there, sweetheart. Illusion looked up. Oh, Mother, you're home. I thought you were still in Manhattan. My meeting finished earlier than expected. Are you alright? She asked, changing the subject. Yeah, I was just looking for Dad. Dad? Whatever for? I'm going to ask him if we could talk to Claire to cheer her up. She's not doing so well right now. Really? You were just going to ask her father to make her feel better? She asked, raising her eyebrow. Well, their father's very good at bringing a smile to Pony's faces once in a while. I don't think he's very fit for consoling some Pony about the loss. Illusion didn't know why, but his mother had already figured out what the problem was. Well, I was going to ask you, but I thought you were still out. Aunt Luna is raising the moon and taking care of her other duties. I was going to ask Nigel, but I can't find her anywhere. Though, she'd probably be even worse at consoling someone than Dad. Celeste giggled a little. Why don't you talk to her? Well, I tried, but she got mad and ran away. He said, knowing his head. And you didn't go after her? No. I didn't think she'd want to talk to me. I don't think she thinks I don't understand anything about loss, but I do. But I guess it's different when you lose a parent. Is she still in the castle? Yes. I suppose I could go talk to her then, but it'll just be to calm her down. I expect to talk to her after as well. This is something you must do as her husband, Illusion. Yes, Mother, thank you, Illusion said with a weak smile. Celestia continued down the hall in the direction from which Illusion came in search of her distressed daughter-in-law. Meanwhile, in the outskirts of Ponyville, there's another hybrid grieving about the same loss. He sat in a patch of green flowers, looking up into the night sky, let out a sigh, and gently lowered his head into the beautiful plants. He closed his eyes, and a single tear trickled down his cheek. Hey, said the voice of the mare. Turquoise wiped away the tear and turned around. It was Nitra, the daughter of Luna. Hey, he replied, unsure of what the princess wanted. Mind if I sit by you? Actually, I kind of want to. He was cut off. I wasn't asking, she said. She sat next to him. T rolled his eyes. Okay then, is there something I can do for you? He asked, trying to hide his annoyance. Not really, she simply replied. Shouldn't you be sleeping? Nah, I'm more of a nightmare. So I've been told, T said, with a small chuckle. She kind of was a nightmare. Ha ha, very funny, she said sarcastically. Well, you're laughing, so that's a good sign. How'd you know I was here? Well, considering what day it is, and the fact this is the only place where these sleeping flowers grow now, it wasn't really hard to put two and two together. T didn't know it was that predictable. These flowers are gorgeous. They remind me of myself. T just looked at the flowers. They're beautiful. Oh, is that? Oh, it's T speaking. Oh my gosh, the writer did not let me know, boy. These flowers are gorgeous. They kind of remind me of myself. T just looked down at the flowers. They're beautiful, and we have a similar kind of power. She laughed a little. I'm assuming you came here looking for peace and rest of mind. I guess, but I don't think these flowers really work on dragons. You could just ask me. I can make you fall asleep like that. Well, I didn't come here just for that. Nigel looked at T's sad expression. I'm starting to think that you're not just thinking about your mother tonight. T lowered his head once more. You know, these flowers remind me of Anthe as well. They're pretty, delicate, and have a comic aura about them. Not to mention, she had one for a cutie mark. Quite fitting if you ask me. Yeah. But I don't think she'd appreciate you sulking like this. She loved you so much, and I'd hate to see you being so sad because of her. I know, but I can't help it. I loved her too. Maybe I shouldn't have. What? If I knew I was going to live this long, I wouldn't have loved her. How could you say that? Nigel said, almost yelling at him. Because right here, it's too painful I knew I had to live this long without her. He stopped. He was getting choked up. I understand where you're coming from, T, but what you're saying is crazy. You're saying that your love was not worth the pain you're feeling now. Was it not worth that much to you? She looked up at Niger, who was now standing. She made a good point. All the moments you shared and memories you have lost forever. I think it's certainly worth it. You're right. I'm sorry. I'm just a little overwhelmed now. Niger sat back down and took a breath. She got a little more worked up than she would have liked to. She then looked at T as if she was telling him to continue. I mean, how much longer am I going to live? I've already outlived Anthea and my mother and all my friends. I'm not sure how much I can lose before I lose it. What if I outlive my father or my own kids? I feel the same way. I know, it's scary. But you're going to have to move on and prepare yourself. That's what I did. It's probably harder for you since you didn't know that you'd be around this long. But trust me, sometimes moving on will help you feel better. Try not to remember what you'd lost, but what you still had and still have. But what you had and still have. It took me a while to grasp that, but I found that I enjoy life a lot more now. Thanks, Nidra, she said with a smile. I'll try. Great. Well, I'll be on my way now. I just came here in hopes of cheering you up. She stood up and started walking away. See ya. Wait. She turned around. What made you stop by? No offense, but I don't really recall you being this nice. Nigel laughed. Well, I've matured a bit over the years, and I guess it's about time that I take some responsibilities as a princess. My subject's happiness is my number one priority. Huh, that's good to hear. Also, I just started as she walked across the sea. I kind of always liked you. I think I still do. She planted a small kiss onto his cheek. Don't let that stop you from always loving Anthea. You two always had something special, and you two were very lucky to have each other. I think she was the luckiest. I was always jealous of her. You didn't really seem to notice, so I just gave up. But I still never got over you, I suppose. Anyways, I better get going. I have lots of other subjects I need rest. Okay, T replied. He was still a little shocked and was still processing what just happened. Oh, and just to let you know, I'll be around for a long time. Maybe even longer than you. So just come by if you need anything from me, okay? Just putting that one out there. She took off to the sky with her powerful bat wings. T watched her fly away. Was she really trying to make him feel better? Or was she just trying to get close to him? He really never knew where that may. Either way, he was happy that they'd had a fella's talk. He felt a lot better than he did before. Clouds in her room, crying again. Not only was she crying about her loss, but also about what she had said and done to illusion it. It was completely uncalled for. She didn't mean it. She was just frustrated. She buried her head into her pillow. Just then, she heard some footsteps come by her door. Hoofsteps, sorry. Crystal, may I have a word with you? Princess, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to yell. Shh. You're assuming things, dear, my dear. Come, let's go into my room. Claire quietly got up and nervously followed her mother-in-law. Was she mad? What was she going to do? Claire had no idea what was going on. Wow. So that's why she's part of the royal family. Technically Spike should as well, because isn't he similar to a son of Celestia? I want to see something to art, but I want to see a fanfic or comic with Spike and Illusion, like they play hoofball or something and go face to face with each other. Now, like, I am the best son of Celestia. And try to beat each other. Anyway, they reached Celestia's room. Have a seat, Claire, Celestia said, motioning to the cushion on the floor. Claire did as she was told, and Celestia shut the door. Princess, Claire, please relax. You're not in any trouble at all, Celestia said as she walked closer to her. Yes, Your Majesty. Celestia popped right down to, next to Claire, right on the comfy cushion. Enough of the formalities. How long is it going to take before I start calling me Mum? Celestia asked with a warm smile. Claire smiled for the first time that evening. Sorry, Mum, she said with a small chuckle. It sounded very strange to call her that, even though she and Illusion were married for so long. Well, I see you're in a better mood already. Celestia is such a calming presence. Nobody could really explain it. I suppose so. Now, I know today is quite a tragic day for you, and I was wondering if you wanted to talk. Oh, really? Of course. It's not too often that I get to have a heart-to-heart talk with some pony. I'm usually talking about treaties and other affairs of that nature. Not to mention, I have two immature boys that usually don't talk to me about anything other than pranks and whatnot. Two? Illusion and Discord. Oh. Both of them let out a little laugh. So, what's on your mind, dear? Her smile instantly turned to a frown as she began to remember what she was sad about. I miss my mom a lot. And all of my friends too. It was really hard to watch them all grow weaker and older while I was still healthy and strong. Tears were welling up in her eyes. Celestia's smile also began to fade as she remembered all the loved ones she'd lost in her very long lifetime. It's hard, I know, she said, nuzzling her soft cheek on Claire's. I've made many relationships in my time, all of which had to come to a quick end, sadly. How do you cope with that? I haven't been around nearly as long as you have, and I can barely handle it. You get used to it? Not really. It's hard watching some pony go every single time. It's just as painful. Claire frowned even more at this. Was it never really going to get better? Celestia saw that the hybrid was taking it the wrong way. What I mean is, you do get used to the concept, but you are in no way desensitized. It is a given that you feel some sorrow after losing someone you love, but that doesn't mean that you should ever stop loving just to avoid future sadness. If you do, well, what's the point of living? Don't take your own life either. There's still ponies out there who care for you, and you make them feel the way, and you would make them feel the way you feel now. It'd be a bit selfish, don't you think? That's true, Claire said, but it doesn't quite answer my question of how you cope. Well, I do what you were doing a little while ago. I cry, I yell, I vent. It may seem a bit childish to do, but it really isn't. Bottling up your emotions is not healthy. It's much better to let it all out. You calmed down a bit after chewing out my son, didn't you? Sorry. Claire blushed furiously. I guess I did. Makes sense. Though maybe you shouldn't yell at him anymore. I think you scared him. Celestia said as she laughed. Claire laughed as well. I will try not to. So what do you yell at? Claire was starting to enjoy this conversation a lot. She didn't get to talk to Celestia much as she thought when she married Illusion. Oh, I would just scream into my pillow usually, but now I have Discord. I should yell at him. Oh gosh, fangirling part 2. If you don't know, I fangirled during one of my flashback fics. I know, this is dyslexia, I'm fangirling as well. I mean, disparity, I do fangirl, but oh man, I don't fangirl as much there, but Celestia just yells at him whenever she has problems. But now that I have Discord, I just yell at him. He doesn't seem to mind. I suppose just used to every pony getting angry and yelling at him. I think he actually likes it now. That's or he's just ignoring me the whole time. Either way, I always feel better after. Oh, that's nice. You can yell at him if you want to also. I give you full permission. Let's see, said with a wink. That's another thing. Family. I can help you get through many things and make you feel like you have a purpose, and I always there to comfort you. I'm very fortunate to have a family now to help me cope. I remember when years ago, when I banished my sister, things were much harder. Wow, that's right. How did you survive that? To be honest, I barely did. I think the only thing that kept me going was my subject's need for me. I didn't want to leave them with no leader and no way to keep the days moving. There was also the hope that one day my sister would return to me, and she did. I have Twilight Sparkle, your mother, and the others to thank for that. Claire smiled for a bit at that. She had forgotten what a hero her mother was, not just to her, but to all of Equestria. Family is important, Claire. Treasure them always. And the best part about our little family is that we'll be around just as long as you. Your brother and father, if not longer. We're here for you. Thank you, Princess. Mama. I think I'm going to talk to Illusion now, Claire said as she stood up. No problem, sweetheart. It's my duty as a mother-in-law. I'm sure Rarity would want it to be this way. Yeah. The feels. Oh, the feels. No one's getting any sleep here. Oh, and another thing that really helped me cope was illusion. He falls under family, but I think having a fall really takes your mind off some things. They stress you out, but in a good way. Hint, hint. Okay. Claire said, unsure what Celestia was hinting at. Celestia playfully rolled her eyes. I think I speak for your mother when I say this. We'd really love to have some grandchildren from you. But princess? Claire yelled in embarrassment. Celestia laughed at her reaction. You better get started. Before you know it, you'll be too old. Celestia shouted at Claire, who was trying to escape the awkward situation. Good night, Mom. Claire shouted back from P.S. I'm sorry these comics that I'm reading are kind of all over the place. I don't really have time to take the hundreds of comics and pictures that she's made and turn it into, a whole full storyline. Back to the story. So yes, grandchildren. Claire returned to her room where she found Illusion. He was sleeping on the bed. She jumped in next to him. He slowly opened his eyes and turned to her. She greeted him with a small kiss. Hey, I'm really sorry about earlier. I feel great now. Your mum is good at comforting. Oh, is that what took so long? I thought she was just going to calm me down. I suppose to talk to you. Oh well, I guess I can't complain. Glad to see you happy again. Thank you, darling. We can still talk if you want to. Sure. What do you want to talk about? How about kids? Kids? What? Oh gosh. Lols. Alright, that was consolidation. The next one will be necklaces. And for some reason my phone hasn't picked up the picture yet. There. Necklaces. You know what? I'm not gonna explain these necklaces. So yes, these are the next to the sexy pictures are the continuation of the story. What do you think Claire wants from us? T asked his father. I'm not sure. She can be a bit unpredictable at times. Maybe she just wants to see our handsome faces again. Probably, T replied, sharing a hearty laugh with Spike. They approached Canterlot Castle, where Claire was now resided. I can't believe my daughter is a princess. Who would have thought? I remember Mum was really happy when she heard that. She sure was. She had bragging rights. Not many mothers get to say had their own little filly had grown to a princess. That's true. They got in front of the castle when they were met by 2 guards. "Hold right there. Just who do you think you are?" The guards hadn't recognized the 2 of them. Spike had grown even larger and more ferocious looking since Rarity passed away. Ferocious? He still looks really cute to me. A little bit of greed had gone to the dragon, with no one to keep him on track. He had grown was as well. Our pony knew what made him grow, since he was certainly not greedy. The guard probably didn't recognize him, since T had never visited the castle. "I'm Spike, and this is my son Turquoise Blitz. We're here to see Crystal Clarity," Spike said. "I'm sorry, sir, but Crystal Clarity is not expecting any pony today." "What?" Spike asked, quite a bit shocked. He seemed agitated as well. Guards had not tried to show up, but they were pretty scared. "She told us to come in ahead of time." "Sir, Guards, it's okay, I'm expecting them." "Princess," they said, and they so kneeled. "Sorry for the confusion. I slept in this morning." The guards just nodded and went back to their position. Claire turned her attention to her father and her brother. She glanced in their direction and jumped to hug them. They made her seem so tiny. "I've missed you guys so much. It's been far too long." Yeah, you haven't come to visit me in a while," she said. "Why must I go to you?" Claire teased. She knew he wasn't much for castles. He likes nature and open spaces a lot more. He was Anthea's husband after all. Things had just been a little exciting around here. "Anywho, come on in. Something for you, both of you." The 2 walked in. The 2 followed her and walked in without question. "So, how's my son-in-law? He hasn't tried anything funny with you, has he?" "Honestly, father, you really ought to trust him by now. He's quite a gentle colt." I know. I just want to make sure that my little filly's okay, and that your husband's keeping you happy." "Aw, thank you, Dad," she said. "Where is he, anyways?" For the princesses in Discord, Nigel and I are the only ones here today. "Nigel's here?" T asked a little louder than he planned. And Claire and Spike turned to him. "Yeah, but she's probably sleeping," Claire replied hesitantly. "Why?" "No reason. Can we keep moving, please?" T asked, trying to change the subject. "Okay." T let out a small sigh of relief. Phew, I was about to say smile. He hadn't seen Hydra since their little talk. He knew how she felt about him and imagined an encounter with the Bat Pony would make things awkward since he didn't know how he felt about her. "Here we are," Claire said as the group came to a stop. She opened the door, and there they were. She opened the door they were at. It appeared to be her room. "Come in, boys." Lol. Just calling your dad a boy. "Very nice," Spike said, scanning the room. He and T continued to walk around. Claire, however, went to her closet and pulled out a couple of boxes. "Here you are," she said excitedly as she levitated them to the dragons. They spent no time admiring the fancy wrapping paper. They opened their boxes to reveal 2 very beautiful necklaces that I assumed Claire had made. She was an accomplished jeweler at this time. The necklaces were gorgeous, but they weren't exactly what the boys were looking at. They were looking at what was in the center of them. Spike's had a familiar fire ruby, and T's had a flower that resembled Anthea's cutie mark. Claire, Spike started, looking as if he was going to cry. Claire levitated the necklaces out of their claws and placed pieces of jewelry around their necks. Do you like them? She asked. T nodded furiously, still infatuated by the necklace. I love it, Claire, Spike said, but I gave this fire ruby to you. You don't have to give it back. I do. I think you need it more than me. Mom is a very special sun pony. Both of you lost yours, but I still have mine. I would feel guilty if I kept this, Father. I really appreciate that, Claire. No problem at all. Now, let's talk about these. Your fire ruby necklace has been altered at all. It still has the gold your mother crafted when she first made it. That mother crafted when she first made it. It's far too special to change in any way. I simply added extra gold around it so it would fit you. Wow. Thank you. And T, yours was rather difficult. It took me a while to find a gem that would match the colour of the real flower. It's also hard to craft, but there's nothing I couldn't handle. I know how you love these flowers dearly, and it breaks my heart to see the ones you kept in your home wilt away. So, I wanted to give you one that would last forever. T ran up and hugged her tightly. Easy, big guy. I appreciate it if you didn't hug me to death. Claire said, gasping for air. He loosened his grip for a much more tame embrace. Sorry, this just means an awful lot. Thanks, Claire. Anything for my big little brother, she said with a giant smile. She looked at both of them and saw how happy they seemed in a moment. Tears began welling up in her eyes. She was just so sad for both of them, but she was glad she was able to make it a little bit better for them and make them feel happier. Claire wiped away the tears and sniffled. She didn't want them to see her crying. That's what I got for you two. You're welcome to stay as long as you want. I imagine you're quite tired from flying all the way here. A little, but we don't want to intrude. We can stay here for a bit if you want some company, though, Spike suggested. I'd like that a lot. The three of them ended up not talking much. They simply just enjoyed each other's presence. T was sleeping on a bed which he found very comfortable. Spike was relaxing on the floor, eyes closed, with Claire curled up next to him. Claire was the only one who didn't appear to be sleeping. Something was bothering her. She had called T and her father to give them their gifts, but that could have been done at any time. She had actually wanted to tell them something of great importance. She rolled over on her back, holding her stomach. She just told her to her brother and father. It looked so peaceful that it was rare for them these days. She didn't want to cause too much excitement. She'd tell them later. Something wrong? Spike asked. Claire jumped a little. She thought he was asleep. Oh, nothing. Just thinking a bit. You sure? He asked, looking at her with one eye open. Yes, I'm pretty sure. All right. He said, closing his eye again.